Good morning, class. Welcome to week 5. Today is February 10th, 2021. Please make sure you turn off your microphone, turn off your phone, shut your door, eliminate any distractions. We will be aware that some of us may be coming from home, so if there's doorbells ringing, dogs barking, we'll just embrace that. Shout out to our virtual learners today. And please make sure you run your video and audio check. While you are doing that, I do have the red record button in the top left. If you do see that, go ahead and raise your hand. Okay. Go ahead and lower your hands for me. And we will proceed. So virtual students, get out a pen and paper. You will have a reflection paper due to me Sunday by midnight. We're going to start with an icebreaker. If you will, using the tools at the top of your screen, go ahead and circle the setting that you think you learn best in. Yeah, so a lot of different things. I see home, I see online, I see school. Okay. So today we'll be discussing thinking collaboratively, learning in a community of inquiry. We are going over chapter 5 today. You should have already taken the quiz and read the chapter. So learning objectives today, we're going to look at deep learning and surface learning and to know the difference in those and how they are part of the community of inquiry framework. So deep approach to learning is essential thinking. It is a crucial part of the community of inquiry framework, and we'll go more into that. So using your emojis in the chat box, please find an emoji that describes deep approach to learning, something you think of, something that came to mind when you were reading that. Brain, okay. Timer, yeah. Yes, all very good answers. So surface approach. First, we need to start with surface approach to understand deep. So surface approach is that information that's comprehended. It's usually existing information. Usually maybe a teacher skims over something or gives you a broad understanding of that topic. Surface learning involves memorization. Often students study using memorization if they're overwhelmed, if they don't have enough time. It's a way for them to get through the information. In deep approach to learning, workload needs to be reasonable. Students can process the information at a deep and meaningful level. So this is something that they're going to take to heart, something that they're really going to comprehend if it's a deep approach. So please circle one way that you think students can use deep approach to learning. Quizzes, yes. Calendar, so giving them the appropriate time, letting them know what you're doing this week. Okay, good answers. So assessment. It is very important that we assess the students. We need to make sure they're understanding what is being taught, that they're actually comprehending it, that they can actually regurgitate it. That is a very important part of deep approach to learning. So rewarding assessment, anybody who teaches in an elementary school can tell you kids don't like to do things for free. They want rewarded. They want the grade, they want the candy, they want the extra recess, they want the pizza party. Whatever it is, they want that. So students who get assessed and get a grade or pass something feel rewarded for learning that. So rewards. Raise your hand and tell me some ways you can make taking an assessment rewarding for your students. Jocelyn?
By making it a low stakes quiz, so making the quiz just simply for the purposes of learning, not so much for
Ex
grade.
exactly. Exactly. And I think students tend to do better if it's low stakes. They tend to put themselves out there. Like, Gary, did you have something to share?
Yeah, something that I've started recently is doing what I call a team test. So there's part of the test that's they're working with a team, and the team that does the best basically gets to be like the teacher's pet or sit in a certain spot of the room, and they get like a homework pass, something along those lines. So um, it just rewards them for collaborating together.
Great, great. I think those are great answers. So how you approach teaching. It does matter how you teach a subject. It will impact the way the students learn. So taking the time, I know especially this year, it's hard not to be rushed to get through a subject. And it can also be hard to teach virtually. You may not be able to do the same amount of things you could do in the class, but how you teach matters because how you teach it is whether or not they're going to do a deep approach to learning or surface learning. Time and assessments. Allowing the students time to learn the information and assessing the knowledge helps show deep learning. So those assessments not only help reward them, but it shows you whether or not they are actually achieving the deep learning. Misconceptions. Students often have misconceptions. Oftentimes those that have misconceptions do not raise their hand, do not want to ask questions. It is important to use those assessments to find any of those misconceptions and actually solve them. So give them the right answers. Make sure that we go over a subject matter that seems like the class didn't get. So please share, please type in the text box one way that you can validate that deep learning is taking place. Dialogue, perfect. Periodic assessment, yes. Discussions, yes. Quizzes, yes. So we are going to go ahead and go into our case study. First, I want to talk to you about the case study. First, you're going to be asked to identify deep learning examples. Next, you'll be asked to give an example of how you can use deep learning in a classroom setting. And for our virtual learners, you'll find a Google page marked virtual for you. You want to complete that and then add that to your class assessment that's due to me Sunday. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the link. If you would, we're going to have about 2 minutes and I will create the breakout rooms for you. And you guys can go ahead. So virtual learners, make sure once again that you're going to complete this on the virtual slide. You want to include that in your paper back to me due by Sunday. Okay, guys, we're getting ready to come back to the main room. I'm going to bring you back now. Please remember to mute yourself if you're not already muted. We are back in the main room. Well, I was watching you complete that, and without spoiling it for our virtual learners, you guys did a great job. So in summary, how we learn matters. Students who learn using a deep approach, they tend to have take that knowledge forward with them. They tend to comprehend things. They tend to use that as a building block for other things. So takeaway, please share one thing you will take away from this class that you'd like to try in your classroom. Please type in the text box. So using both assessments as formal and informal will help with deep learning. Great. And reminders. Please remember, for those who are joining us virtually, you will need to complete the reflection over the information, and you'll need to have that back into me Sunday by midnight. And questions. If you have any questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat box for me. Virtual learners or any learners, you're more than welcome to email me at any time. So I do not see any questions in the chat box, so I'm going to go ahead and end the recording for today. Thank you everyone for coming.